It was supposed to be a routine operation. 2 federal agents, somewhere in the continental United States, going about their evening shift in 2023. No unusual briefings, no red flags on the radar. Just another unremarkable night in America until they looked up. Hanging in the darkening sky was a glowing orb, round, pulsating, burning a deep shade of orange. Not a plane, not a helicopter, not anything either of them had been trained to identify. They stared at each other in silence, searching for words that didn't exist. And just like that, it was gone. But here's where it gets interesting. The very next day, a completely different team, different agents, different locations saw the exact same thing. An orange orb, glowing in the sky, then vanishing without a trace. Then it happened again. A third team, a third location. In under 48 hours, 6 trained federal officers, the kind of people whose entire job is to observe and report accurately, had each witnessed something they could not explain. And it didn't stop there. These officers watched as the large orange orb began releasing smaller objects. Not 1, not 2, but a series of smaller red spheres, ejecting from the main orb like a mothership deploying scouts. These red orbs didn't drift. They moved with precision, forward, upward, downward, accelerating at speeds that suggested something far beyond conventional aviation. 5 separate times they witnessed this. 5 times they documented it. And then they gave sworn testimony to the United States government, confirming every single detail. Now, if this story came from a stranger on the internet, you could scroll past it. But these are federal agents, sworn officers, people who are legally and professionally bound to report what they actually see, not what they imagine. That sworn testimony would sit in classified files for 2 years, until 2025, when a senior U.S. intelligence official decided to go back to the exact same location, this time by helicopter, with officers on a deliberate reconnaissance mission. They didn't have to wait long. An orb appeared, hovering just above the ground. The helicopter banked toward it. In an instant before the aircraft could close the distance, the orb relocated. Not gradually, not with the arc of a turning plane. It simply appeared 20 miles away, as if the space between had never existed. The helicopter gave chase. It couldn't keep up. Then, just as before, smaller orbs emerged. The whole sequence repeated for 35 uninterrupted minutes. Then silence. Then nothing. This is not folklore. This is documented, reported, filed. And America is not alone. If you map every credible UFO sighting reported over the past 79 years, from 1947 New Mexico to 1948 Germany, from 1952 near the Soviet border to 2023 Iraq, 2024 Syria, and 2024 Japan, a pattern begins to emerge. Not the random scatter of hallucinations or weather confusion. Something far more deliberate. Something that, once you see it, you cannot unsee. We'll come back to that pattern. But first, the United States government made a move that shocked researchers, historians, and everyday Americans alike. On May 8, 2026, the U.S. Department of Defense declassified and publicly released 162 previously top-secret UFO files. These weren't leaks. These weren't whistleblower dumps. This was an official, government-authorized release, complete with a dedicated web page at war.gov. Inside those files, FBI documents, Pentagon reports, NASA transcripts, State Department cables, 28 never-before-seen videos, and 14 photographs of unidentified aerial phenomena that had never been shown to the public. The contents are, by any measure, stunning. One file documents an object photographed above the lunar surface. 3 unidentified dots arranged in a precise triangular formation. The government's own preliminary analysis, released 54 years after the image was taken, now suggests these could be physical objects, not light artifacts, not lens flares, physical objects near the moon, and no one knows what they are. Another case from 2023 takes place in Greece. U.S. military sensors track an unidentified object moving at 80 miles per hour over the ocean and making 90-degree turns. Not gradual banking turns, sharp, instantaneous 90-degree direction changes. The laws of inertia that govern every aircraft ever built say this is physically impossible for any known human technology. A 2-minute, 57-second infrared video, now declassified, shows this object executing those turns in real time. In 2024, during a U.S. airstrike in Iraq, a mysterious object passed through the surveillance feed at extreme speed and vanished. In Syria, 2 semi-transparent orange zones appeared for roughly 2 seconds, then ceased to exist. Near Japan, in the Indo-Pacific region, sensors captured a football-shaped object with 3 distinct projections, 1 extending upward, 2 downward, before it too disappeared. Each case shares the same fingerprint. An object appears, performs a maneuver that defies known physics, and then disappears. No wreckage, no radio signal, no explanation. Now, let's go back to the very beginning, because this story has roots deeper than most people realize. June 24th, 1947. Private pilot Kenneth Arnold is flying his personal aircraft over the Cascade Mountains in Washington state when he spots 9 bright, fast-moving objects near Mount Rainier. They're flying in a tight V formation at an estimated 1,200 miles per hour, more than double the speed of any aircraft that existed at the time. When reporters ask him to describe what he saw, Arnold says they moved like a saucer, skipping across water. He was describing their motion, not their shape. But a journalist wrote "flying saucers" in the headline, and 2 words entered the global vocabulary forever. 2 weeks later, a farmer named W.W. Mac Brazel discovers strange debris scattered across his field in Roswell, New Mexico. Tinfoil, rubber strips, a material he'd never encountered before. He reports it to the local sheriff. The sheriff contacts the Roswell Army Airfield. And on July 8, 1947, the U.S. Army issues an official press release stating they have recovered a flying disc. The headline goes worldwide in hours. The next day, the military reverses course entirely. It was a weather balloon, they say. The public barely noticed the retraction. The original story had already taken root. Within the final 6 months of 1947 alone, over 300 UFO sighting reports poured in from across the country. By 1952, glowing objects were being tracked on radar above Washington, D.C. for weeks. Newspapers ran front-page headlines, "Saucers swarm over Capitol." The U.S. government launched a formal investigation called Project Blue Book in 1952. It ran for 17 years and cataloged more than 12,000 reported sightings. The vast majority were explained weather balloons, aircraft misidentifications, planets, satellites, atmospheric phenomena. But 701 cases remained permanently unresolved. No explanation, no classification, just an open file. Then in 1994, something changed. The U.S. Air Force quietly declassified a program called Project Mogul. The revelation. During the Cold War, the United States had been monitoring Soviet nuclear tests using high-altitude spy balloons. One of those balloons had gone down near Roswell. The strange debris Brazel found in his field. Balloon materials. The unknown substance. Classified military components designed to surveil a superpower without their knowledge. And the alien bodies that witnesses across Roswell claim to have seen? In 1997, the Air Force released a supplementary report. Those bodies were crash test dummies, the same kind used in aviation and military safety testing. In at least one case, they were actual human crash victims from a separate accident, whom local residents had misidentified in the confusion of the moment. The calculus becomes clear when you understand the Cold War context. If the United States government had admitted it was flying classified surveillance balloons over sensitive geopolitical zones, it would have triggered international crises with the Soviet Union. It was strategically safer by a wide margin to let the alien rumor circulate than to expose the existence of Project Mogul. And, as an unintended bonus, the UFO hysteria gave the military cover to test increasingly advanced experimental aircraft. Every time one of those prototypes appeared in the sky over a rural American town, locals reported a flying saucer. The cover story wrote itself. Now look at the pattern. Look at where these UFO sightings cluster. Western United States, Greece, Iraq, Syria, Japan. These are not random coordinates on a map. These are precisely the locations where U.S. military operations, naval deployments, and advanced weapons testing have been most concentrated over the past several decades. The overlap is not coincidental. It is a roadmap. In 2024, in a formal report to the U.S. Congress, the Pentagon confirmed it. UFO sightings from the 1950s and 1960s were largely America's own experimental spy planes and aerospace technology being field tested. The Pentagon's own All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, stated it found no evidence that any U.S. government investigation, any academic research program, or any official review panel had ever confirmed that a UFO sighting represented extraterrestrial technology. None. In the entire documented history of UFO investigations. NASA echoes the same conclusion. No verified proof of objects originating from another world has been established. But here is where the story demands a more careful read. Acknowledging that most UFO sightings have conventional explanations is not the same as saying all of them do. Those 701 unresolved Project Blue Book cases still exist. The 2023 orange orbs witnessed by 6 federal agents under oath still happened. The 90-degree turn object, captured on infrared video in Greece, still has no matching aircraft in any known military inventory, American or otherwise. The triangular formation photographed near the moon during Apollo 17 still has no accepted identification, 54 years later. And then there are the astronauts. December 1965, the Gemini 7 mission. Astronaut Frank Borman, 4 hours and 24 minutes into the flight, radios Houston ground control and uses a single word that had never before been spoken in space: bogey. It's a military term for an unidentified aircraft. Ground control assumes he's referring to the mission's own booster rocket. Borman corrects them. They can see the booster separately. The bogey is a third object, unrelated to any known spacecraft component. Houston acknowledges it plainly. There appear to be 3 objects in orbit. Post-mission analysis was unable to classify it as debris or booster material. The Apollo program would generate more. During the 1969 Apollo 11 mission, Buzz Aldrin, the second human being to walk on the moon, reported seeing strange light flashes inside the darkened lunar module cabin. Later, a large luminous light source appeared to track their spacecraft above the lunar surface. During Apollo 12, astronauts reported unexplained light flashes and unusual particle phenomena near the landing site that ground-based scientists struggled to classify. These were not amateur observers making guesses. These were NASA-trained mission specialists operating under conditions of extreme scientific rigor, reporting what their instruments and their own eyes confirmed. So where does that leave us? The architecture of this story is not one of alien cover-ups or secret government treaties with extraterrestrial civilizations. The evidence doesn't support that conclusion. What it does support is this: the US government has, at multiple points in history, deliberately cultivated public confusion about what it was flying in the sky to protect classified programs. And in doing so, it created an environment where genuine, unexplained anomalies became permanently mixed with deliberate misdirection, making it nearly impossible to separate the two. The former director of AARO publicly warned that releasing raw UFO files without context or analysis would fuel speculation, pseudoscience, and what he called playhouse politics theater. Whether the current political climate, with its appetite for distraction and spectacle, benefits from precisely that kind of theater is a question worth asking. Because here is the one thing that 79 years of UFO history has proven beyond doubt: the most dangerous unknown isn't hovering in the sky above you. It's the one sitting behind a desk in Washington, deciding what you're allowed to know. For more amazing facts and real stories, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay with us.